Hi, my name is Bruce, and I represent the Boatshed South Africa for new vessels being built in the country. With me, I have Tim Duncan of Celtic Yachts, and Tim would just like to introduce himself and the boat yard and the philosophy behind the boats that they have built. Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim Duncan. We have a purpose-built factory in Cape Town, South Africa, where we build the Admiral 40 catamaran. And
What history do you have for us, Tim? Where did it all start?
I've been sailing since I was a young kid. I grew up in Saldanha Bay. About 20 years ago, I built my first Admiral 38. I bought the hull and bulkheads from Admiral Yachts. And we cruised quite a bit to the States. Then in 10 years ago, we bought the rights and the molds from Admiral to build boats.
And since then, you've built a couple more for yourself and a number for other clients.
Yeah, we've had 3 Admirals in the last 10 years. So now also.
Just having had a chat to Tim's wife, who is, let's say, cautious but loves to sail, and she wouldn't climb on board one of his boats unless she knew what went into it and whether it was absolutely capable of crossing the Atlantic, well, significantly more than once. Could you give us some idea as to the design philosophy in the boats and possibly the build materials and so on?
We build safe cruising catamarans. We use foam sandwich techniques in the structure. So
And then do you prefer a lot of buoyancy up front, or are you going for more performance oriented boat?
Yes, our boats are more erring towards cruising safe, comfortable boats, although they do have good performance. A lot of buoyancy in the bows allows them to handle the rough seas of the Cape, as well as Atlantic crossings.
Sure. And I would imagine that because most sailors are doing the downwind passages with the trade winds, beam reaching and broad reaching is a major factor, and the buoyancy in the bows is a key factor.
Yes, it's a very important part of the design of the yacht, to keep the bows out of sinking under the water, and that's why we have such large bulbous bows.
Are your boats, would you consider them bespoke and built to customers' requirements, or is it pretty much a factory run scenario?
No, we have 2 basic models, the 3 cabin and the 4 cabin, and we build to customers' requirements, to the layouts, finishes that they require.
Yeah. And it would include engines,
equipment, sails.
So the specification sheet that you will see as part of this advert is just for the standard boat, and it would be optimized to whatever requirement is required by the customer. How many boats have been built over the years? Just around figure?
There are probably around 30 odd Admiral 40s have been built. We build roughly 1 to 2 a year. We're capable of building 3 in our factory simultaneously.
So yeah, small, intimate, and bespoke.
Yes, and we have a small crew of guys who are working.
Yeah, so the attention to detail, there's time to get things absolutely right. Correct. As far as the equipment that you use on board, it's all you'd be able to source it internationally. It's not South African or African specific.
No, it's all the standard. The mast is built generally by Skycraft in South Africa. Engines, generally Yanmar,
Around about 30 horse, maybe 40.
30 horse, can go to 40. Instruments, we could use either of the three big ones, Ray Marine, Garmin, or BG.
Tim, if you could just run us through the thinking behind the helm station and the layout and the very important safety factors involved with that, particularly with these elements that we have to deal with. So please excuse the wind noise. Our Cape Doctor is howling outside. So yes, Tim, if you could just give us an idea of your thinking here.
The helm is very well positioned, which allows you to see all four corners of the boat, which is great for docking and sailing. All your control lines run aft to these jammers onto the two main winches, which happen to be electric on this boat. The spinnaker winches are sitting aft for your code 0 or your spinnaker. And because you've got such good visibility and you're out of the elements, it's a really comfortable boat, particularly for harsh weather conditions.
I noticed that there's a window above your head for good visibility from a mainsail perspective,
yes,
and
so
trimming,
you
etc.
look up here, you can see the mainsail and trim it accordingly with the lines which are all running aft.
I would imagine that most of your customers are family orientated, so mom and pops and one or two kids, and you feel very secure inside this cockpit with high guardrails and a very low helm position, from the point of view that there's not much of the upper torso exposed to a wave coming through over the front deck.
Great. There is a spray dodger which is installed in the front, and also canvas often installed on the sides, which keeps you out of the elements as well. And you sail dry, you don't get wet at all.
Do most of your customers go for spinnakers, jennikers, or your code zeros as far as your big head sails are concerned?
We generally a spinnaker, an asymmetric, and sometimes a code 0.
Yeah.
And the standard on the boat is a Genoa and a main.
And the helm drive system, is it a hydraulic system or cable system?
This is a cable-driven system, which and we have a Garmin autopilot on this boat.
I would imagine the cable system just gives you so much more direct feed. I found the hydraulic systems to be very distant or mushy, I suppose, if you want to call it that.
Correct. It allows you to feel the boat when you're sailing, which you don't get with hydraulic systems.
Excellent. Tim, as far as distances covered on a typical cruise, I would imagine the boat like this can perform and cover significant distances. But in typical sailing conditions, sea states, winds, all being appropriate, and would somewhere between 150 and 250 nautical miles be achievable targets?
Yes, those are the kind of distances we achieved on our way to the United States on our last trip.
So, and the maximum that you've done on the boat?
We did over 250 off the coast of Brazil, which was
exhilarating sailing, I would imagine. So a 200 nautical mile day in the appropriate conditions is
that's quite doable.
Tim, obviously there's a limited amount of time that we have for this soundbite. The balance of the information, which there is a great deal of, I'll be putting in the advert itself, and please feel free to get hold of me and Tim to answer any specific questions. But Tim, thanks a lot for your time.